We have now just heard from Deepak, and we've kind of Today, we have a very special guest with us who has not only made strides in the corporate world, but also on the marathon tracks. Meet Deepak, a marathon runner and a HR leader who's here with us to share his incredible journey. Welcome, Deepak, to Dressing Room Stories. How are you today?
I'm feeling great. Thank you.
One very important question. Have you watched any of our podcasts so far?
Of course, yes. Yes.
What's your feedback? Did you
It's
like
been-
it? And do you think this is a great platform for runners like you to be there, to be able to share your journey?
It's a lovely platform. Very engaging one. And what I saw in that whole interaction was the anchor got the best out of the person whom he was talking to. So I actually love the conversations.
Very good. That's a very good answer to start off with. We will start and we will let our viewers know, to make them aware of your inspirational journey, right?
Sure.
And we will obviously talk more about your Paris Olympics experience, which I think was mind-boggling for me to personally hear it from you. I enjoy a lot of outdoor sports,
Okay.
right? Be it cricket, be it volleyball, or anything, or cycling for matter, right? Or any form of fitness. But one thing for me was running, which never came to my mind, right? Because I personally feel it's a very different ball game. It's not only about going on the track or on the streets to kind of run, but it's about mind game. Talk us through about it.
Sure.
What does it take to be able to do one full marathon, which is I think close to 44 kilometers?
Yeah, 42.195 kilometers. Yeah. So you're right. Actually, running is a mind game. About 80% of running is through the mind, 20% through the body, especially when you're looking at 26 miles as the full marathon. Humanly, about 30 kilometers is when the energy in the body gets depleted. So the glycogen stores in your body gets depleted around 32 kilometers.
Okay.
The last 10 kilometers you actually run through your mind because there is nothing left in your
Nothing
body.
left in your body,
Yeah.
exactly.
And your mind and your heart is what carries forward you to the finishing line.
So no matter how much you prep, after the 32 kilometer mark, it's about psychologically how you kind of try and finish
Absolutely.
that. It's a different motivation.
It's a different ball game altogether.
A personal point of view, one of my very close friend, right, whom we kind of grew up together.
Mhm.
Today he's a runner,
Okay.
right, and I have seen how he has transformed from where he was and where he is today, and for him it has become an addiction, right? So do you think running is actually an addiction?
It's a great addiction. If you ask me,
And it's a good addiction.
it's an amazing addiction. One, it will keep you fit.
Yeah.
Second, running will ensure that your weekends are not with your friends in a party bar because you're prepping up for the next day early morning run.
Yeah, and
It
that's
saves
why
you
I've been
money.
seeing him, right? Because we keep calling him now, and he's always saying us that I have to get up at 5, I have to train,
Exactly.
I have a run, and he's there all around.
Yeah,
and I'm
yeah.
sure it's the same with you.
It's
as
the
well.
same. So it builds discipline.
Yeah, very
It builds putting your health and your well-being at the center of everything around you. That's what running does.
I mean, it's what you do, and runners like you, it's absolutely incredible, right? And for that matter, when we take sports as a whole, there's a lot of things to it. It's not only about prepping for it, but it's a lot of mental fitness that is very, very
Absolutely.
important.
Absolutely.
Most important question, right? And I think that's why you are here as our guest, Paris Olympics 2024. For my viewers, he was one of just 3 Indians who took part in the Paris Olympics marathon, full marathon, in the common public category. And today we have Deepak sitting next to us, and he will tell us more about this journey, what went through, what did you do, talk us through, run us through that experience.
Sure.
Actually.
A small correction. I ran a 10-kilometer open category. It was through a marathon Portus for the first time in the history of Olympics.
Wow.
They opened up Olympic running for general public,
Very nice.
and they opened it up with an app, which was about 2 years back.
Okay.
So you register through an app, you do multiple challenges, and then you earn points.
Okay.
And Jan
So
20.
what you're saying is from the time the app started, which was 2 years back, until 2022 until 2024, you've been doing multiple
exactly.
activities to be able to earn so many points.
Exactly.
Wow.
Exactly.
Wow.
So it's a journey of 2 years, and then you accumulate points, and that's not it. At the end of that whole period, by Jan 2024, they did a lucky draw.
Okay.
And I was one of the lucky few to represent. Unfortunately, couldn't get the qualification for full. My points were not as good as to be in the full, but I got a 10K category. But anything running in Olympics,
It's a
5, 10,
medal of honor
absolutely,
for you, right, on your
absolutely,
shoulder.
absolutely.
What was the difference between getting those points of 10, or earning those points for a 10 kilometer and qualifying for a full marathon? And were you disappointed that you were not able to get to that full marathon?
Of course, I was disappointed. Of course, it's a dream for anybody to run a full marathon in Paris Olympics, right? At the same route which the elite runners run.
Wow.
Unfortunately, I mean the qualifying criteria was about 1,00,000 points, 100,000 points, and I was somewhere around 55,000 points.
It's still not bad.
Still not bad, but
still
yeah.
not bad.
Yeah.
So you still want to do that full marathon in the next Olympics?
If they open it up, why not? Yeah, absolutely.
How old are you?
I'm 46.
So we're talking about another, at 50, we expect Deepak to do a full marathon.
In Los Angeles, if possible, God willing, yes.
Wonderful. And we wish you all the best, and I hope you do that and you sit with us here again. Yeah. With all this running, and you're a HR leader, right? Very easy job. Very
How I wish.
critical question becomes is, how do you manage three things? Right?
Yeah.
For me, it is three things. One is your corporate life, one is your running, and your personal life.
Yeah.
How does everything come together to be able to achieve this?
I think great question, right? So all of us have 24 hours in our life. It all depends on how we prioritize the activities around us, the habits, and the kind of routine that you follow. It's completely up to us. So what I do is, my TV time honestly is about 25 minutes a day.
Wow.
So which includes my the news channel, everything. Everything. So I prioritize my workout time. I have a calendar. I talk about this openly to my bosses in the company, saying that this is what I'm preparing, this is when I work, this is what my schedule is. So it's not about work-life balance. I integrate work and life. Say, I'll give an example. I have a bunch of meetings lined up for the day. I typically on those days work from home, and I ensure that I get my workout, even if it's 20 minutes, 30 minutes, right in between the meeting. I squeeze in a workout in between. So there is no excuse that I'm busy. So you need to look at your schedule holistically and try to squeeze those time and ensure that you're disciplined.
And
A small
discipline. I'm sorry to interrupt.
Yeah.
This discipline is something which you have built over a period.
Absolutely,
of years.
yes.
Or else I think to be able to do that, to be able to get a 25-minute TV time like how we do it for our kids, it's not possible today, because you finish your work, you just want to go sit back and just don't do anything.
Yeah.
You were telling something about it.
So I was talking about the habit, right? So I think the success is always in building a habit.
Exactly.
And one of my friend quoted this example saying that, does anybody come and tell you to brush your teeth every day in the morning? It's a habit. Initially, it was a struggle for your parents, for us to get us brush the teeth when we were kids. But once it becomes a habit, it just happens naturally. So as long as fitness and lifestyle becomes a habit, it happens naturally.
And it's a success.
It's a success, absolutely.
What about your personal life? How do you kind of manage the daily chores at home? You have a small baby, right?
Yeah.
Just started to go to school. Your wife is working.
Yes.
If I'm not wrong, right?
Yes.
How do you manage all of those things?
Again, communication. So I openly, my wife Sheetal, we discuss openly about what's my training, what is the race that I'm targeting, what's the time that I need to spend. Is it easy? I wish it was so easy. It's all about, as I said, talk, put your things in front of her. She has her own workout schedule. So I ensure that the days when she goes for a workout, I take care of the baby. When the days when I go for my workout, she's there to take care of it. So it's a shared responsibility. Absolutely.
Very good. Or else, I don't think so it's possible.
Right from kitchen to everything at home, it's a shared responsibility.
Do you cook?
I do cook.
Oh, very nice. Would love to try one day. Any injuries that you think has impacted your running in such a long span of your career? And also a follow-up question would be is that, to our viewers who are into running or who have just started to begin or who aspire to begin, right? What are those key to-dos and not to do-dos kind of things?
Great. You know, injuries happen when your mind is stronger than your body, because you're pushing your body beyond the limit, and that's why you're getting injured. And this is a typical case. People who are stronger mentally and they're not as strong as physically compared to their mental strength, they start getting injured. And I was one of them who was blessed with multiple injuries to begin with. So I think I had the worst of all was shin splints. And you ask any runner.
And what is shin splints?
So you get the
front part
exactly
of your lower leg.
Exactly, the front part of your lower leg, the shin basically. If you look at the shin, they pain a lot because there is tremendous amount of stress there. And if you ignore it, it can lead to stress fracture and longer rehabilitation. So I had multiple bouts of shin splints, and the only thing that you can do is stretch, ice, rest, and do a lot of strengthening. I still remember early days of my running. Our coach used to always saying that, guys, do strengthening, and we were very happy, just go put your shoe and run. After 2 years, 3 years, multiple rounds of injuries, we realized saying that strength training, all the basics.
Everything should come together
Absolutely.
In the right way, right?
Absolutely.
You can't have too much of mental fitness. You can't
Absolutely.
have too much of strength fitness.
Correct.
Everything needs to kind of collaborate
Balance.
very nicely and
Absolutely.
balance. Very
Absolutely.
nice. Very
Flexibility, strength, mental.
nice. You still have a coach, or you coach yourself and others maybe?
I do informally coach a bunch of folks, about 50 folks. For last 2-3 years, I've been doing it.
Okay.
So every TCS 10K, I start a training program for 12 weeks. We gather folks, and it's a free of cost training program, and it's a virtual setup, so we don't have physical meetings.
Okay. Okay. So you kind of just tell them the,
workouts, talk to them,
and how do you do follow-ups and things like that.
Yeah.
Very nice, very interesting, and it is actually not a very easy thing to
It's
do,
right.
to be very honest.
Yeah.
A favorite marathon or a dream race that you would love to do it one day? I know you told Los Angeles 4 years down the lane, but if not Olympics, what is one favorite place? Which is that one favorite place where you want to do your marathon run?
So like every long distance runner, the dream is Boston.
Okay.
And I want to qualify for Boston and do my Boston run. I hope it happens as soon as possible, but I know it requires tremendous amount of effort in terms of training, 6 months of effort. So at least 2026, 2027.
What makes Boston so special?
So it's the history.
Okay.
Over 125 years of Boston Marathon running history. It's the mecca of runners.
Okay.
So Boston, you have to qualify for Boston, then run Boston. It's one of the toughest courses. Toughest courses, tough weather conditions, long history of running, perfect place.
So is it not that you can just go and kind of do the formalities of applying and go and sign up and run, or do you
No.
need a separate
Yeah.
like lucky draw thing what you mentioned about Olympics?
So two things. One, you can pick up a charity bib,
Okay.
and then get into a lucky
Getting
draw,
a lucky draw.
or you run a qualifying race, and in your age category you qualify for that with a timing. Say for my age category, it's about 3 hours 16 minutes, full marathon.
Full marathon.
And this year
And was that your fastest one so far in your journey, or
the qualifying time, the fastest one has still been very, I'm still long behind the qualifying time. I hope to get there in 2 years.
okay? We wish you all the best once again, and I hope you be able to kind of go to your favorite place, run there, and maybe I'm done.
That's the summit. Yeah.
Thank you, Deepak, for sharing an incredible journey so far.
My pleasure.
We now move on to a more interesting conversation, which is going to be the rapid fire section.
Sure.
Are you ready for it?
Absolutely.
The answer should be as quick as you run on the marathon track.
Rapid.
Yeah? So let's get into it. What's more exhausting, running 26 miles or sitting through a 3-hour HR meeting?
Sitting through a 3-hour HR meeting.
Yeah.
Hands down.
But you're into that. That's your forte, right? That's what makes you earn money. And that's when you're able to go to Boston or Paris and you still say.
A 3-hour HR meeting is part of what pays me. And 3.5 hour run, 26 miles is what I pay to run for. So
Absolutely.
happy any day.
One favorite excuse to skip a training session. There has to be one. You cannot tell me that, no, I don't miss my training session.
And this has been an excuse that my daughter could not sleep the previous night. I get up groggy and I miss the session. Happened, but not my favorite. But it has happened multiple
It
times.
has happened. That's
Yeah.
the most common.
Commonly used, absolutely.
What's worse, blisters or HR paperwork?
Blisters.
Yeah.
Blisters. Running through blisters is far more painful than an HR paperwork. Thankfully, with digitization, the paperwork in HR has come down.
Yeah.
But blisters there is no digital help for blisters. You go through the pain.
If you could have any celebrity running as your running partner, who would it be?
Milind Suman,
Wow. And why?
he is an amazing fitness enthusiast,
Yeah.
an inspiration for many. He himself is a marathon runner.
Exactly. He is.
I was blessed to be running alongside him in Mumbai Marathon during my debut FM in 2019.
Nice.
So he's an inspirational guy. He would be my partner.
Anybody outside India?
Anybody outside India? Can it be a runner too?
Yeah, runner.
Kipchoge. Yeah.
I don't know about any runners, but it's for my viewers.
Goat. He's the greatest of all.
Yeah?
All time. Yeah. He's the
Does he
greatest.
still run?
I hope he still runs because the last Olympic in Paris was not a great run for him, but he has been a phenomenal guy. The guy who took running to a different level, to a different orbit.
What's more difficult or what's harder, convincing your boss or convincing your wife to run?
Convincing my wife to run.
Yeah.
Absolutely.
Because you're the boss, you're the HR leader, right? You just need to tell that you're going for a run.
Yeah, convincing my wife, saying that Saturday morning I'm on for a 3-hour run is far more difficult to then tell my boss, saying that, boss, my work schedules are a little bit delayed because I'm going for a run. I think talking to my wife, getting those 4 hours time is much more difficult.
I hope this answer does not stop you and does not make it more difficult for you to run in the future. So thank you, Deepak. It was a pleasure having you here. Before we wrap up this beautiful conversation that we have had, I would ask one question and then we wind up. What actually got you into running?
Thank you, Rahul. That's a very interesting question. This was in 2015 June. I was an absolute chain smoker. So I used to just smoke a pack of cigarettes. I was into recruitment. I was earlier in sales, high pressure job. One fine day, my vocal cords just gave up. And I couldn't speak. And in recruitment, if you can't speak, that's the end of your career because there's nothing left. So I went to the doctor. He looked at my vocal cords and said, dude, we have a problem. Are you a smoker? I said, yes, I am a smoker. And he said, I am suspecting something really bad. So I told him, what is really bad? He said, the dreaded word. And he said, take these steroids. It's a 30-day course. And if you're lucky, this redness that I see will go. If you are not lucky, then I have to remove your vocal cord. Scared. Life changing.
For you?
And next moment I came out of the hospital, I lit up a cigarette. Because I was under stress. The only response that I knew under stress was lit up a cigarette.
You've been smoking for so long.
So long.
Yeah.
I went back home. I slept through it. Next day morning, I went back, went at 8 o'clock and had a cigarette and said, this is the last one that I'm going to have. And after that, 2 days later, what happened was massive withdrawal symptoms. Like I was irritable. I was fighting with everybody. Nothing seems to make me happy. I was just irritated with life. And that's when I woke up one day and said, I want to walk. And then I started walking around the park. 2 days later, a very young man of 70 years old overtook me 3 times while I was walking. He was running. And that was a wake-up call for me. Here I see a 70-year-old young person going through 4 laps on the park.
Still not able to complete a round.
I am not able to walk 1 lap. So I tried to run. Half a lap, I was out of my breath. And that made me pick up running.
Wow.
I said, now that I can't do anything, it's irritating. I need to go for a run in the morning, go for a run in the evening, go for a walk. And then life changed.
Wow. Thank you, Deepak. I mean, this could not have gotten better. The kind of message that you have given us today, I hope, once again, I repeat, this inspires a lot of my viewers, a lot of others. And just a disclaimer, right? Like everybody knows, smoking is injurious to health. With that, we wrap up the session. Thank you once again for watching Dressing Room Stories. If you like our video, please like, subscribe to the channel.
My message to the viewers, running has transformed my life. It can transform yours too. Basic steps, right? Start slow, be consistent, and don't give up.